Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. I welcome you all to this yet another exciting session on AWS. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, let's stop the chat so that we can focus on the session. Perfect. In the last session, we have discussed about what is AWS. You know, AWS is a cloud platform. It's as simple as collection of services offered over the internet, isn't it? And the benefits of cloud, we already have discussed it: availability, scalability, and pay as you go basis. And you know, the top leaders of cloud platform providers, AWS, Azure, and GCP. And we are interested in AWS, and we are learning AWS certified solutions architect associate level training. So we had an introduction to AWS. So this is a plan for our today's session. Please have a look at it. To jump into practicals of AWS, friends, to jump into practicals of AWS, we have to have an AWS account. I hope few are already having AWS account, but there are many participants who are completely new who are not having AWS account. So today I'll guide you how to create a new AWS account. So please follow the steps and go ahead and create a new AWS account so that you can start practicing. Step one, we'll learn how can we create a new AWS account. And then once we do that, we'll jump into the first service, that's EC2. Got it? We'll learn what is EC2, and we'll also learn EC2 is all about the creating virtual machines. We'll learn how to create a Windows machine on AWS. We'll experience the terminology called what is key pair, and then we'll also learn how can we create a new, how can we connect to the new machine which we have created. This is our plan. This is our plan for today's session, isn't it? So before, so without any delay, let's proceed and learn how can we create a new AWS account. Okay. So before starting, let's have a quick interaction. I have seen some participants raising their hand. It's always good to have a human interaction in this virtual technology. So let's start with Satish. Let's spend a couple of minutes speaking to our participants, and then we jump into the agenda for today's session. Yes, Kalapu Satish. You are allowed to unmute yourself now. Your question, please. You have to unmute and talk. By default, you'll be on mute. Sandeep Mishra, good morning. Can you hear us? I can see your hand raised.
Good morning, Sunil. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah. So my main question is just I'm more excited to how to create the accounts on AWS and
Uh,
start understanding on the EC2 services. So I'm
okay.
completely new on this.
Yeah, that's our
Okay.
agenda. Na? Today we'll be
Yeah.
learning how to
Yeah.
create a new AWS account. That's what you want. And then we'll also learn experiencing the first service EC2, isn't it? Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything more,
Welcome.
Sandeep?
Welcome.
Thank you. Yes, Nikhil.
Hi, good morning, sir.
How are you, Nikhil?
Great, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Yes, your
Uh,
question.
Sir, my question is just you have said us there is 25 centers of AWS, right?
25 sessions. Yeah.
Yeah. सर suppose in the session means like कई बार सर कंप्यूटर भी हमारा क्रैश हो जाता है सर अगर हम
Could you speak in English? I'm not comfortable in
सेंटर
Hindi.
क्रैश होता है तो सर हमारा कैसे करते हैं ओके सर लाइक out of 25 centers suppose sir India center has been crashed means sir, there
25
is many time
regions. Okay, okay.
okay
Okay. No
out
problem.
of 25 reasons sir suppose means due to natural disaster one
Disasters. We'll see that. We'll see it. They automatically, using a Route 53, we can route the traffic to a different backup region. So, Nikhil, we'll see that in dealing about Route 53. Okay. How
okay
exactly AWS handles the natural calamities. Okay.
okay
Okay. Everything is interesting. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Kapil, how are you? Sorry, Satish. Can you hear me, Satish?
Yes, sir.
Yes, your question, please.
Nothing is there, sir. Just I am the fresher.
Okay.
I have previous experience as a system administrator. Just I
Okay.
move on to AWS DevOps.
Yes.
So as of now, I am preparing as an AWS.
Okay.
Thanks for your guiding me, sir, about
Thank you,
this.
Satish. We are also starting DevOps, maybe next 10 days or within a week. Okay. We'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Thank you, Satish.
Sir, can I save this number and do you have that WhatsApp on this number? Sir?
No, no, no. This is, you can, but you may not get the response, Satish. Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Let's have one more interaction. Sasi, P. Sasi Kumar. Good morning.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay.
Just my basic question is, my completely background is from life science, but my dream is to work for software, and
Okay.
I just
Okay.
researched that, the AWS is the complete
Hmm.
non-programming background and also learn this tool.
Yes, you are right.
So only with
Whenever,
this
whenever
AWS
you
can
want to
I,
shift from non-IT to IT technology, okay, so
okay,
maybe you're from a mechanical engineer or civil engineer, or you're from an MBA, you want to get into IT industry, okay. Step one, what you need to do, select a technology which is very much booming, which is having more number of job opportunities. Okay, right now AWS and DevOps, both the technologies are very booming, and combination is much more booming. So that's first step is select the technology, Shashi.
yes, sir.
Second step, you need to master it, not just learning. You need to master it. Okay, you need to have spent some time. You need to schedule yourself at least daily 1 to 1.5 hour. You have to practice whatever we are learning. You need to learn more. Okay,
Okay,
and then continue this process. And then once you master the technology, prepare the resume, put it in the Naukri. Okay, and then start attending the interviews and crack it. Then get into the industry. So this is the standard process everybody follows. Sissy. Okay, so be focused. Okay, so you to get the results. Perfect. Okay. So let's move on. So we are all happy that we know we are learning AWS, but we want to get into practicals of AWS. If you want to practice AWS, yesterday, what did I do? I hope you remember. Yesterday, I have logged into AWS. I have shown you list of all the services. I am able to log into AWS because I am already have an AWS account. Okay. If you're not having an AWS account, you have to create a new AWS account. Now I'll guide you how to create a new AWS account. Just follow this after the session immediately. If you are very serious, please after the session immediately, please follow the same steps what we are looking at in the session, and then go ahead and create a new AWS account so that you can start practicing. So let's proceed how to create a new AWS account. Please have a look at it. If you want to have an AWS account, if you want to create an AWS account, first thing what you should have is an email address. That's okay. We all have an email address. That's not a problem. You also should have a mobile number. No problem. You may have Sunil. What's there? We also have a mobile number. In case if you are having two mobile numbers, I mean to say, if you're using two SIM cards, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. That's very important. If you're using two mobile numbers, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account in this account creation. You should have a debit card. Credit card could be difficult, but debit card, whenever you open a savings account, you have a debit card. So debit card or credit card. Preferably debit card is the best one. Okay, if you have email address, if you have a mobile number which is linked to your bank account, if you have a debit card, that's it. These are the prerequisites. If you have all these details with you, you can go ahead and create an AWS account in just 5 minutes. You can go ahead and create a new AWS account in 5 minutes. How to create a new AWS account? What is the URL to log into AWS? The URL is, I hope you know that, aws.amazon.com. This is the URL, aws.amazon.com. Let's log into AWS site. aws.amazon.com. This is the AWS account. Sign in. I am already having an account, so I log in with my email address. As I already have an account, I log in with my email address. My account, I already have it, aws.training.com, and go ahead and click on next. I can log in. But in our case, we don't want to log in. We want to create a new AWS account. Here we have an option of creating a new AWS account. I hope you understood this. as our plan is to not to log in. If your existing users can easily log in, but we want to create a new account, here we have an option of creating a new account. Step 1, total how many steps? Please observe here, it's a 5-step process. It's a 5-step process. You need to enter your email address, the login password, whatever the password you want to log in, and then AWS account name. This should be unique. Okay, so these are the details. So what you need to do, you need to provide email address in step 1. Not only email address, you should also provide the login password. Am I right? Not the email password, the login password which you want to log in. That is step 1. Okay. I have prepared a document which guides you to create a new AWS account. I have prepared a document also. Now I'm showing you the document. Please have a look at it. Creating a new AWS account. I hope we can see it. Step 1, log into a site aws.amazon.com. Enter your email address. I hope it is very clear and visible. Enter your email address, enter your login password which you want to log in, and then AWS account name, click on continue. This is step 1. So step 1, you need to furnish your email address. Obviously, you need to furnish your mobile number in step 2. Please let's move to next step. Look at step 2. What is step 2? Enter contact information. Very important. AWS provides 2 types of accounts. It's very obvious. Look at the slide. AWS provides 2 types of accounts, professional account and personal account. We are creating an AWS account for our personal use, for learning ourselves. So please select the account type as personal. Provide your full name, provide your mobile number, select the right country. I have seen some participants entering the mobile number, but the India mobile number and country they mentioned as US. No, you will not get the OTP. You need to provide the right mobile number, select the right country. So we have provided the mobile number in step 2. Am I right? As simple as that. Once you provide your mobile number and once you provide an address is optional. Okay. Scroll down. It is asking for debit card or credit card information. This is the next furnish. It is asking for the card information. Okay, so provide the card details. You can see here card number, expiration date, card holder's name. So I have provided my details. Look at this. Okay, so I have provided my details. Scroll down. Do you have a PAN card? You don't need to furnish the PAN card. Just click on no and verify and add. So the debit card will be added to your AWS account. As simple as that. So step 1, I have provided my email address and login password. Step 2, I have provided my mobile number and I have selected the right country, and AWS provides 2 types of account, professional account and personal account. Select the personal account. Step 3, it is asking for debit card details. Look at this, what happens in step 4. AWS will verify whether your debit card which you have provided is correct or not. The debit card details what you have provided is correct or not by deducting 2 rupees from your account. Just to validate whether the card information which you have provided is correct or not, you get an OTP, provide the right OTP and validate your debit card. Next. Step 5, confirm your identity one more time. It will ask you to enter the mobile number one more time. Already we have provided mobile number. In step 2, it will ask you to provide the right mobile number one more time. Please provide the mobile number, select the right country. Again, you get an SMS. Second time. First time OTP is to verify the debit card which you have provided. Second time OTP is to verify the mobile number what you have provided is the right mobile number or not. Verify it. Next, very important. AWS provides 3 types of plans. Please look at the screen. AWS provides 3 types of plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. We are creating an AWS account. A free plan is enough. Select a free plan. The basic plan is enough. for us to practice and learn AWS. AWS account, what we are creating is a free account. The AWS, what you're creating, the account which you're creating is a free account for a period of 12 months. So if you create an account, you can use that particular account for a period of 12 months for free. So what are you waiting for? So select the plan as basic plan so that you go ahead and create a new account. If you go for developer plan and business plan, it will be chargeable. Never do that. Go for a basic plan that's free. Select the basic plan. Select the role of interest. Select your role and then select your area of interest. Click on submit. You get a confirmation message. Thank you. Your AWS account has been created. And immediately check your email. You get an email from AWS saying that your account has been successfully created. Once an account is successfully created, you can log in and log into your account. Clear about this? It's a clear, easy step-by-step approach of go ahead and create a new AWS account. It's very simple. Just approximately provide the right details. Make sure you select the basic plan, which is free, and you select the personal account. Provide the right details. That's it. Your AWS account gets created in just 5 minutes. Okay, I'll be sharing this document. Go ahead and create a new AWS account. Next point. Very important pitfall. Only Visa card or MasterCard should be used. There are some debit cards which are having RuPay. Okay, that is not accepted by AWS. Do not use RuPay card. Please use Visa card or MasterCard, which is of debit card. So please make sure that don't use RuPay card. Okay, clear? Clear. Go ahead and create a new AWS account. Next point. If you create an AWS account, your account gets created, but it will take approximately 18 hours time to get activated. Creation is different, activation is different. Immediately your account gets created, but if you want to start practicals, you have to wait for approximately 18 hours. You get one more email saying that your account is now activated. You can start using our services. Go ahead and create a new account now so that at least after 18 hours, you can start practicing. So I have clearly shown you how to create a new AWS account. Clear? Clear about this? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Perfect. Done. As simple as that, we are done with creating an AWS account. Please make sure that you do not use RuPay card. Please use Visa card or debit card. If you're not having debit card, you can use other person's debit card. That's not a problem. Please make sure that you have a Visa or Master debit card. That's enough. Perfect. Done creating a new AWS account. We are done with the first point in our agenda. We have learned how to create a new AWS account. Now let's learn EC2 service. How to log into AWS once you're done with your AWS account. Once you're done with the AWS account, how can we log into AWS? We already have learned it. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in. I am already having an AWS account, so I don't want to create a new account. I'm logging in with my email address. I'm logging in. When you log into AWS, friends, try to understand. What is the first page? What is the first page? First page is called as landing page. Whenever you log into AWS, what is the first page you get it? Please experience it. Sign in. Whenever you log into AWS, the first page is called as AWS Management Console page. Experience the first page, the landing page is AWS Management Console. Now, what is AWS? AWS is collection of services, as simple as that. And you can see the left side, you can see list of all the services which we have discussed. Yesterday, we have seen approximately there are more than 200 services, isn't it? These are the list of services. Out of this list of services, what's our agenda for today's session? What's our agenda for today's session? You're right. We are understanding the first service called EC2. We are understanding a first service called EC2. So select EC2. This is how the EC2 dashboard looks like. This is how the EC2 dashboard looks like. You have instances, instance type, resources. This is the dashboard looks like. Okay. Now let's try to understand more about EC2. What is EC2? What's the purpose behind the EC2? Okay. Friends, let's make it simplified. As per theoretical discussion, stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Amazon EC2 provides a scalable computing capacity in AWS cloud. Using EC2 eliminates the need for investment on hardware upfront. You can deploy applications much more faster. It's all about creating computing capacity. What does that mean? Let's make the concept simplified. Let's make the concept simplified. Okay. Sandeep Mishra, can we have a talk? I want to have a quick talk with you. Is that okay? Are you there, Sandeep?
Yes, Sunil. Hi. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to understand EC2. So before getting into EC2, look at my requirement. My laptop is which operating system? Can you guess? It is a Windows operating system. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now my plan is to learn Linux commands. What's my plan? My plan is to learn Linux commands. Obviously, I cannot learn Linux commands on Windows machine. Or we need a Linux operating system. As my plan is to learn Linux commands.
Okay.
So I have to install Linux operating system. But my laptop is having Windows operating system. Option 1, what I can do, I can format my laptop and then
install the Linux.
And then install Linux operating system so that I can happily practice my Linux commands. This is option 1.
Okay.
Option 2 is much more better. Please look at option 2. I can create a Linux machine on VMware.
Okay. Virtual machine. Yep.
I can create a Linux machine on VMware. I'll guide you to the other participants. Few may be knowing it, but few may not knowing it. I am guiding you. Option 2, instead of formatting Linux, I can create Linux machine on VMware. I'll show you. Look at this. This is my Windows operating system. Participants, friends, we know this is all Windows operating system.
Yes.
Can you see here? There's something called VMware.
Yes.
I'm opening the VMware. Yes, this is a virtual machine. I have created a VMware application. Observe here inside the VMware, I have Linux, Red Hat Linux is there. I have installed Linux in my VMware. Clear? Now I'm starting this particular Linux machine. Let's wait for the Linux machine to get started. Try to understand the technology behind it. My Linux machine is ready. My Linux machine, did I format my laptop? No. My Linux machine is ready. Now I can open my terminal and I can start learning my Linux commands. This is my plan. My plan is to learn the Linux machine. Yes, I am able to do that. So what's the concept behind it? Let's try to understand. Please look at the diagrammatical representation. I have my laptop. Okay. So I can also say a hardware layer. It can be laptop or desktop. To run this particular laptop, the actual operating system which is running my laptop is Windows 10. The actual operating system which is running my laptop is Windows 10. That's the actual operating system installed. On top of Windows 10, we have installed additional software called
virtual
VMware.
Yeah. So on VMware, we install the virtual Linux.
On Windows 10, you can see here it's very obvious. On Windows 10, like I have installed Google Chrome, I have installed WhatsApp, I have installed a VMware application. It's a virtualization application. Inside the VMware, I have created a Linux machine. Okay, clear. Now, if I want a Solaris operating system, I can go ahead and create one more virtual machine Solaris inside the VMware. Clear about this? So did I? So the advantage what I get it is I don't need to format my laptop. So of day-to-day activities, I can use obviously my Windows machine, and whenever I want to learn Linux commands, I can go ahead and
VMware, yeah. On VMware and
play
then
my Linux machine, and whenever I'm done practicing my Linux machine, I can stop the Linux machine, and I'm back to my Windows machine. Clear? Now, obviously, Sandeep's second option is much more better rather than formatting the laptop. So I can have advantage of Linux machine running on VMware. The second option is much more better, isn't it?
yeah, completely agreed.
Next, let's continue our discussion. Whenever you want to run this kind of virtual machines, not the actual machine is Windows 10.
Yeah.
So this is called virtualization. Okay. Whenever you want to this Linux machine is a virtual machine. So whenever you want to create a virtual machines, the virtual machines needs three important hardware components. Please try to understand. Very important. Every virtual machine needs three important components. It needs RAM, because to run a machine it needs RAM, it needs a processor, and it needs a hard disk. Every virtual machine needs three important hardware components. My dear friends, please try to understand. Whenever we are creating a virtual machine, whenever you're running a virtual machine, it consumes some RAM, it consumes some processor, it has to have a computing capacity, and it should also need some space to save some files and data. So we have to allocate how many hardware components? Three hardware components: RAM, processor, and 8G hard disk drive. Definitely a
Yes.
question could be, Sunil, so in that case, how much RAM you have allocated to the Linux machine which you have just shown me? How much processor it is using? How much hard disk that particular Linux machine is using? Can we look at the hardware configuration of the virtual machine? Yes, you can do that. Before looking at the hardware configuration of the virtual machine, I just want to tell you my laptop is coming with 8 GB RAM. Okay, the actual configuration of my laptop is 8 GB RAM and then 500 GB of hard disk. This is my hardware configuration of my laptop, or it could be desktop. Out of which, look at the hardware configuration I have allocated to the Linux machine. Go to the VMware. Memory, 3.9 GB I have allocated. That means close to 4 GB of RAM I have allocated. That means 50% of my RAM I have allocated to my
Virtual machine.
machine. Remember, there are three important hardware components every Linux machine, every virtual machine should have. So I have allocated approximately 4 GB of RAM.
4 GB.
How many processors I have allocated? How many processors I have allocated? 2 processors I have
Two.
allocated. Next, how much hard disk I have allocated? Out of 500 GB actual hard disk which I am having in my laptop, I have allocated how much? 60 GB. So am I clearly showing you the hardware allocations which are done? So when I run this particular Linux machine, it uses this, it consumes this particular RAM, it consumes these many number of processors, and it consumes this particular hard disk space, and then the virtual machine gets executed. Clear? Am I clear? Am I clear in
Yes. Yeah.
explaining you the concept of virtualization? That means your virtualization is using the hardware as per your requirements. Clear?
Yes.
Now, Sandeep, how much RAM I have allocated to the virtual machine?
4 GB.
Okay, total how much RAM I am having in my actual laptop?
8 GB.
8 GB. That means out of 8 GB, 50% I have allocated to the Linux.
Yeah, virtual machine. Yeah.
Clear about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
As simple as that. Okay. Now, Sandeep, let's continue discussion. My plan is to learn Linux commands. Option 1, format the laptop and install Linux. That's option 1. Option 2, I don't need to format my Linux. I can create a Linux machine on VMware. Option 2 obviously is much more better than option 1, isn't it? So option 3 is much more better option. I can create a Linux machine on AWS cloud platform. You can create a Linux machine on AWS cloud. You don't need to. So here in this particular Linux machine, I am allocating my hardware resources. I'm allocating RAM of my laptop. Why should I allocate RAM of my laptop? I want to use RAM of a AWS data center. AWS
Yes.
is having data centers in different locations, right? I want to use the RAM of AWS. I want to use the hard disk of AWS data center. I want to use the processor of it. I don't want to consume my hardware. Hardware is already available by AWS. I want to use their hardware resources and I want to create the Linux machine or whatever I want as per my requirement using on top of their hardware. This can be possible. Creating your own virtual machines by using the AWS hardware is possible by using a service called as EC2.
C2.
EC2 is a service, stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, using which you can create your own virtual machines. You can create a Windows machine, Sandeep.
Yes.
You can create a Linux machine. You can create a Solaris. You can also create a MacBook, whichever you want. You can go ahead and create it. And you're not investing your hardware resources. You're using the hardware resources of AWS Cloud. Clear? Elastic
sir.
Compute Cloud. Am I clear? Am I clear in
Yes.
explaining the concept of AWS? And thank you, Sandeep. Thank you for your time.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Perfect. So we are now experiencing learning how can we create a virtual machine, not on your personal laptop, not on your virtual on a VMware. Okay, so I'm stopping this VMware. Anyways, we have experienced it. Now I'm showing you how to create a new machine on AWS Cloud. Okay. Now I can these are the frequently used terminologies. I can say that I'm creating a new computer on AWS. I can also say I'm creating a new machine. I can create a new box. I can say I'm creating a new PC. I can also say I'm creating a new server. All these are synonyms. The best term to use is instance. The best term is used for instance. So I'm creating a new instance. I'm creating a new instance. Where are we creating the new instance? We are creating a new instance on AWS Cloud. In today's session, I'm showing you how to create a Windows machine on AWS. Okay. I'm showing you how to create a Windows machine on AWS Cloud Platform. This is the AWS Cloud Platform. And our objective is to create what machine, friends? Today's session, we are experiencing the process of creating Windows machine on AWS Cloud. Today's session, we will be experiencing the process of creating a Windows machine on AWS Cloud. Okay, so so let's proceed. I logged into my AWS. Okay, I logged into AWS. Inside the AWS, you can see list of all the services. The first page is called as a landing page. In that, you have list of services. So select the service. What's the plan? How can we create your own machines, whether it is a Linux machine or a Windows machine, whichever machine you can go ahead and create, no doubt, by using a service called as an EC2. This is the EC2 dashboard looks like. So what are we creating? Friends, what are we creating? We are creating a new instance. Which instance you are creating? You're creating a Windows instance. Okay, so please proceed. Be careful. Be careful in each and every point. Go to instances. Okay, instances are nothing but machines. How many machines my AWS account is having? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm already having 4 machines. I'm using these machines for a different batch. In your case, when you create a new AWS account, as it is a fresh account, you will have 0 instances. In my case, I'm already having 4 instances. These are instances which I have created for my other batches. But in your case, when you log in for the first time, you'll get number of instances as what? 0. So ignore these 4 instances. Ignore these 4 instances. Let's go ahead and create a new instance. Clear? Let's go ahead and create a new instance. How to create a, Sunil, you may have questions. Sunil, how can we create a new instance? You may have questions. Sunil, how can we create a new instance? Creating a new instance is very simple. Click on launch instances. Yes. Please observe. Look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 step process. Look at this. It's clearly mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So creating a new instance, whether it is a Windows machine or a Linux machine, whichever you want, you can create a new machine. It's a how many step process? It's a 7 step process. Creating a machine is a 7 step process. Let's try. Let's proceed. Let's proceed with the 7-step process. Let's go ahead and create a new instances. For your reference, I'm clearly noting out what are the options. I'm doing it each and every step, starting with step 1. Please observe. Step 1, look at, please read this. Choose Amazon machine image. It's nothing but operating system. Step 1 is selecting Amazon machine image refers to operating system. Step 1 is to select the operating system. Which machine you want? You want to create a Linux machine? In case if it is Linux, do you want Red Hat Linux? Do you have SUSE Linux? Do you want Ubuntu flavor? Do you want Windows machine? Do you want MacBook? Step 1 is all about operating system. You can say you have a lot of operating. AWS provides you a lot of operating system for you. Select whatever operating system you want. Okay. You can see you have Amazon Linux, Red Hat Linux, whichever you want, you can proceed. SUSE Linux, you have Ubuntu, you have Microsoft Windows Server. You have all types of operating systems, boss. Debian. Okay, there are a lot of operating systems available. Okay, so our plan is to create a Windows machine. That's fine. So I don't want Linux. Yes, I want to have a Windows machine. So Windows Server 2019. That's fine. Make sure that when you're creating and selecting an operating system, make sure it's eligible for free tier. I hope you remember the AWS account. What we have created is a free tier account. So make sure that you select this free tier. There are few operating systems which are not eligible for free tier. Scroll down, I'll show you. Can you see here you have an option of free eligible tier? No, it's not available. It's a paid one. Clear? So few instances are paid, few operating systems are paid instances, paid operating systems. So make sure you select eligible for free tier. Yes, this is a free tier eligibility. So I'm selecting this Windows Server 2019. So step 1 is selecting the operating system. Okay. Step 2. Step 2, instance type. Instance type, your question could be, Sunil, okay, you're saying that we are creating a new Windows machine. I completely agree with that. But my question is, how much RAM this Windows machine is having, is having? How many processors this Windows machine is having? How much hard disk this Windows machine is having? Can you guide us? That is about instance type. Step 2 is instance type. AWS provides different types of instances. T2 nano instances, T2 micro, T2 small, T2 medium. There are different types of instances. T2 small. Look at this, large, extra large. There are different types of instances, out of which the only instance which is eligible for free tier, please observe, is T2 micro instances. You have no other option. You have to select T2 micro. The Windows machine, what we are creating is of what type of instance? It is a T2 micro instance. What does that mean? It comes with one CPU and one memory. Memory is nothing but RAM. Now you got the hardware configuration of this Windows machine. This Windows machine is having how much RAM? Let's take a note of it. It is having 1 GB RAM and how many CPUs? One CPU. So what is missing? Hardware configuration is hard disk is still missing. Let's learn that. So I'm very clear. Step 1 is selecting operating system. Step 2 is selecting the instance type. So what I have selected is a T2 micro instances, which is coming with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. If your question is, Sunil, 1 GB RAM is very less. I want to have an 8 GB RAM. You can select it. You can see 8 GB RAM. You can select this, but you have to pay for it. This free tier account is having some limitations. This free tier account is having some limitations. So make sure that you're eligible for free tier. So we are experiencing, the experience is the same whether it is 1 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM, isn't it? So I'm selecting T2 micro. That means this Windows machine, what we have created, is coming with 1 GB memory, 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. That is step 2. Step 3, number of instances. In a single shot, you can go ahead and create 10 Windows machines. It's all about number of instances you want to create. I want to create only one instance. That's enough. So step 3, take the default one. Step 2, what you have selected? We have selected T2 micro. T2 micro is nothing but 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Step 3, what is step 3? Number of instances. We have taken default options. That's nothing but one instance. Step 4. Step 4, look at this. Can you guess storage? Storage is referring to hard disk. Step 4 is storage. Storage is referring to hard disk. AWS provides 30 GB of hard disk from their data center to your Windows machine. You're not allocating hard disk from your personal laptop. Are you understanding? You're not allocating you're not allocating hard disk from your personal laptop. You are using the hard disk space of AWS data center. So how much hard disk it is providing? 30 GB. So we now got the complete hardware configuration. So the Windows machine which we are creating is having 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU and 30 GB of storage. That is hard disk. So step 4, take the default. That's nothing but storage. How much storage? 30 GB of storage. That is step 4. Step 5. Add tags. We can do it later. Don't worry about this. Just click on take the default. I'll explain about the tags later. Step 6. Very important. Step 6 is very important. Security group. Configure security group. This is very important. Please focus. We are creating a Windows machine. Okay, fine. Sunil, no doubt. Yes, we are creating a Windows machine. Fine. Assuming Windows machine is successfully created on AWS data center. Got it? Assume that Windows machine has been successfully created on AWS data set. Now, my plan from my personal laptop, I should able to successfully connect to the Windows machine. Agree or not? Windows machine is created on AWS data center, fine. But you should able to connect. Assume the machine has been created, but you are unable to connect. That's useless. The machine is useless. Not only creating a EC2 machine, not only creating a Windows machine, you should able to successfully connect. You should able to successfully connect. When can you successfully connect to the Windows machine? You can successfully connect to Windows machine only when you can successfully connect it to the Windows machine only when, can you guess? You're right. Only when what is open? Port needs to be opened. You can connect it to Windows machine only when port is opened. Sunil, your question could be, Sunil, what do you mean by port? Port is something like a gate. Port should be open. Port is something like a gateway of communication. I'll make it simplified. Look at this. You buy a pen drive. You want to use a pen drive. You buy a pen drive for storage. You want to use that pen drive. So where do you connect your pen drive? To USB port. Your laptop is having port, right? Port is nothing but point of communications. You want to connect your laptop to your TV. You want to connect laptop to your TV. So you use HDMI port. That's a different port. For audio jack, there is a different port. For video jack, there is a different port. The ports are nothing but point of communication. It's a gateway of communication. You can communicate to your pen drive only through the port. Port is nothing but a gate of entry. I hope I'm very clear in explaining the ports. The point is when you're creating a Windows machine, you have to open the port. And AWS is very intelligent. It is guiding you that you have to open the port. It also recommends. So you open the RDP port. RDP port is used for connecting to Windows machine. I've not done anything. It automatically given as a port. But you have to understand what port. So what port needs to be opened for Windows machine? Friends, what port needs to be opened? RDP port needs to be opened. And I have not opened it. It automatically guided me to open the port. Step 6, take the default. But it's all about security group, which is very important. We'll learn more about security group in coming classes. Done. Step 7. Step 7 is just to review and verify whether the details what you have done is correct or not. Please look at this review. We are creating a Windows server, which is of type T2 micro, which is coming with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. And it is having this particular port is open. And this is having this particular storage. Storage is nothing but the hard disk. How much hard disk? 30 GB hard disk. Perfect. I have reviewed my details. All my details are correct. Then go ahead and create launch. Very important. Once you're done with 7-step process, when you click on launch, we'll have a questionnaire round. Don't worry. When you click on launch, interesting point you need to observe. It will ask you to download KeyPair. When you click on launch, interesting observation, it will ask you to download KeyPair. Definitely a question could be, Sunil, what is KeyPair? KeyPair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. KeyPair, once you complete the 7-step process, at the last, when you click on launch, it will ask you to download the KeyPair. KeyPair is nothing but a file with a KeyPair. KeyPair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. Let's experience it. Look at this. Launch. Select an existing KeyPair or create a new KeyPair. You can select an existing one, create a new one. So go ahead and create a new KeyPair. Provide a name to the KeyPair. Name can be anything. I can write my name, Sunil. As it is a keeper, I'm writing with keep KP with today's date 7. It can be anything, boss. Keeper can be anything. And I want to download my keeper. You have to download it. I want to download in my desktop. Where I want to download in my desktop. What is the name of the keeper? Sunil KP7. Or I want to create a new folder with the name Sunil folder with my name. Okay, it's already there. In this particular folder, I am saving my keeper. In my desktop, I have created a Sunil AWS folder, and then I'm downloading keeper in my folder. So experience. What is the file extension? .pem. I hope you have experienced it. So you have to download the keeper and then click on launch instances. Hooray, you're done. You have instances are now launching. Please scroll down and click on view instances. You have successfully created a Windows machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 instances are existing instances. This new machine is still pending. It will take 1 minute time approximately. Are you understanding? It's still pending. It will take 1 minute of time. This is the new machine which you have created. Create. So I can write it as machine 1. Whichever you want, you can name it. This is a name. You can write any name. I'm writing it as machine 1. Please observe it is now into starting state. Hooray, we have please try to understand. We have successfully created, friends, we have successfully created Windows machine on AWS cloud platform. Are you excited? Are you happy? If you are yes, please type yes in the chat box. Are you happy? We have successfully created Windows machine for the first time on AWS data center. Are you happy with this? Please type yes in the chat box. Thank you very much for your responses. I recommend you to do some hands-on. Not just listening to the sessions. The best thing to retain these concepts is to practice, do hands-on. Go ahead and create a new AWS account. Let's stop the chat. There's something more to learn. Thank you very much for your responses. Perfect. So I have created a Windows machine. Fine. Then I have named it as machine 1. Now it's running state. Very good. Perfect. Okay. Now, look at my question. We have created Windows machine. Fine. Where is this Windows machine is running? Can you answer my question? Where this Windows machine is running? Obviously, your question is going to be, Sunil, what's that question? Your Windows machine is running on AWS cloud platform. Yes. In which data center? Now, my question is, which data center this Windows machine? The AWS is maintaining 25 regions. That is nothing but 25 countries. So this particular Windows machine is running on which data center? Look at the result. Look at this dashboard. Can you see which region? This machine is created in which region? Mumbai region. Can you see the dashboard? Friends, I hope you can see the dashboard. You can see it's very obvious. This Windows machine which you have created is in Mumbai data center. Fine, very good. So we have created a Windows machine on Mumbai data center. I am from Hyderabad. Okay. But I want to connect. Okay. So not just creating, we have learned how to create, but you should also learn how to connect. That's interesting, isn't it? So let's learn how to connect. From Hyderabad, I want to connect to Windows machine. Somewhere is running on Mumbai location. How can we connect? If you want to connect to this Windows machines and running in a remote location, if you want to successfully connect to Windows machine which is running in a remote location, you need to use an application called Remote Desktop. A remote desktop application is used to connect to the remote Windows machine. So this application you don't need to install by default. You will get installed. You will have this application. Click on Start and search for Remote Desktop Connection. Remote Desktop Connection is an application by default. You get it. This is the application which is used to connect to the Windows machine which is running somewhere in the Mumbai location. So open that Remote Desktop Connection. Fine. Application is open. Okay. Clear? Application is open. Okay, Sunil, what are the details which are required? What are the details which are required? Application is remote desktop. What is the details you have required? You need to have DNS. You need to have username. You need to have a password. These are the 3 credentials which are required. These are the 3 details which are required to connect to Windows machine. You need to have a DNS, domain name service. If you don't worry, if you do not know about DNS, don't worry. I'll make it simplified in our coming classes. You should also know the username and password. These, if you have these details, you can connect. Okay, Sunil, how can we get these details? Look at this. I'll show you. Go to the machine which you have created. This is the machine which you have created. And you want to connect to this machine. Am I right? Select the machine whichever you want to connect, and you have a connect option here. When you click on connect, go to RDP client. Can you see the public DNS? Yes, do you have the DNS name now with you? DNS is ready. Next, what you need? You have a DNS. You have the username. Username is also ready. Next, what you need? Password. You don't have the password. You have to generate the password. Password is not providing. You have to generate it. You can generate it only when you have the key pair with you. Do you remember after completing the 7-step process? Do you remember after completing the 7-step process at the last it is asking you to download what? Key pair. After completing all the 7 steps, is asking you to download key pair, because this is the key pair which you have downloaded. I hope you remember where it is downloaded. It is downloaded in desktop. I have created a new folder, Sunil AWS. This is the key pair. So the purpose of the key pair is to generate the password. That's for security reasons. As you have the key pair, you upload the key pair, the password gets generated. I'll show you. Look at this. You have to generate the password. Click on get password. It is asking you upload this Sunil KP7. Sunil KP7, that is the name of the key pair. Sunil KP7, that's the name of the key pair. It is asking you to upload the key pair so that it provides you the password. Desktop. Here is my key pair. I am uploading the key pair. Once you upload the key pair, there's an option called decrypt. Yes, now you got the password. Now you got the password. These are the 3 details which are required. You have the DNS name, you have the username and password. Once you have these 3 details, you can go ahead and connect, not create. You already have created. These are the details which helps you to connect. So I have the details ready with me. So open the remote desktop application. Computer is nothing but provide the DNS name. Copy. Provide the DNS name. Click on connect. Username it is prompting for. We already have the details ready with us. Next, prompting for password. That's it. These are the 3 details. Friends, these are the 3 details. Click on OK. Please experience this. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes. You are connecting to a Windows machine. You are successfully connecting to a Windows machine which is somewhere running in Mumbai location. Let's wait. Friends, are you understanding the importance of AWS? You have creating a Windows machine. Excited. Yes, you have successfully connected. Are you excited? Now, how much RAM? Tell me. Rupali, how much RAM? How much RAM this Windows machine is having? Let's check it. Go to this PC, right? We'll have something called this PC. Go to properties. 1 GB RAM. Is this 1 GB RAM you have given it from your personal laptop? Did you use 1 GB RAM from your personal laptop? No, not at all. We are using the hardware configuration of AWS data center. We are using AWS data center RAM. Okay, you can see 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Okay, and how much storage? Storage is nothing but hard disk. All the details are clearly mentioned in the 7-step process. I hope you are very clear. How much storage? Storage is nothing but the hard disk. The 1 GB RAM is not storage, it's a RAM. The storage is 30 GB. Can we verify it? Yes. you can see a C drive, 29.9 GB. That's nothing but 30 GB of storage. Did you use 30 GB storage from your personal laptop? No, we are using 30 GB storage from the AWS data center. Once you're done connecting, once you're done with this connecting, you disconnect it, click on close the remote desktop application. Are you sure you want to disconnect the connection? Yes, you have connected, disconnected. So what are the credentials required? The credentials required are DNS name, username, and password. Please observe what's our agenda for today's session. Are we met our agenda for today's session? Did we meet our promise? I have shown you how to create a new AWS account. Perfect. You know how to create a new AWS account. You know that you have debit card, email address, phone number. Please follow that. I'll be sharing the document. You also know what is the importance of EC2 service. EC2 is all about creating virtual machines on AWS data center or AWS cloud. We also have experienced how can we create a new Windows machine. Am I right? We have successfully created. What is KeyPair? After creating a new instance, it is asking you to download the KeyPair. KeyPair is nothing but a file extension .pem, and once you have the KeyPair, then only you can generate the password. Otherwise, it will not generate the password. It's one level of security. So you're not only creating, you also now know how can we connect to the remote machine. How can you connect to the remote Windows machine by using an application called Friends? By using an application called remote desktop connection, you can connect. And what are the details which are required? The DNS name, username, password. What else you want? We have experienced, friends, we have experienced how to create a Windows machine on AWS cloud. That's our agenda for today's session. We are done with our agenda for today's session. Thank you very much for your support. So let's have a quick interaction. Okay, so let's have a quick interaction. Obviously, we cannot have an interaction to all the participants, isn't it? So let's have a quick interaction with some of our participants, starting with Viresh Kumar. Good morning. Can you hear us? By default, you will be on mute. You have to unmute and talk. Sanjeev Kumar, good morning. If you're not having any questions, please drop your hands. If you're not having any questions, please drop your hand. Sanjeev, we can hear you. Thank you for unmuting. Can we talk?
Yeah.
How are you, Sanjeev?
Yeah, I'm good. It's nice. Yeah.
How is today's session?
Yeah, today's session is fine. I am very much new to AWS.
Okay.
So I'm basically the mainframe developer, but I have knowledge in Java J2E.
Okay.
So this is my first session, and we are moving to the cloud for AWS and Azure.
Okay. So your project, your client is moving to cloud.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very important to have an exposure on AWS Cloud. Sanjeev, I hope these sessions will help you to have a good, sufficient knowledge with respect to
AWS.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Harita K. Good morning. Can you hear us? Could you please unmute and have your question? You are allowed to unmute, Harita. Suresh. Any question? If you're not having any questions, please drop your hand. Yeah. Who is this?
Sunil.
Yep.
As of at this process, we can't find any errors. What are the errors we getting, right? When we are trying to practice anything, we get some more errors manually.
If you perfectly practice, select the right options, you will not. It is not a programming language where you have some errors or something like that. Okay, you need to select the right options and proceed. Satish,
As
not
of
get any
now,
errors.
all this training, did you find any errors commonly? Small errors.
You will not get the errors if you're perfect in all the options, whatever we are learning, Satish. Okay, you will not get the errors. Thank you. Ajaz Sheikh, good morning.
Morning, Sunil.
How are you, Ajaz?
I'm doing good.
You're from which location?
It was so awesome. I'm completely new to AWS, so
Mhm.
really host our files, applications to our clients on Azure platform. So I just want
Okay.
to explore the AWS as well.
In fact, Ajaz, if you
Mhm.
learn AWS, you can easily relate those concepts to Azure. Okay, the terminology, the user interface changes. That's all. Concept remains the same, isn't it? No matter whether the service names and the user interface changes, but the concept remains the same. Okay, for Azure also.
Thank you so much, Sunil.
You're from which location?
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay, okay. So, is this your first day?
Yeah, I missed the yesterday class. I'm sorry for
So
that.
please be regular. Okay, every day session starts at 6:30. And one more important point: if you are all want to get the updates about the training, I recommend you to be part of our WhatsApp group. 1 minute, please. I just want to. I hope you are already in the WhatsApp group. If some of the participants, if you are not part of the WhatsApp group, please do not join the duplicate group. This is batch number 75. If you are not part of the WhatsApp group, then please join the WhatsApp group. Using the chat, using the link which I just mentioned in the chat box. Yes. Any questions, Ajas? Any technical questions?
No, for now. It's clear for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajas. Okay, please be regular. Thank you very much. Venkata Babu, good morning. Your question, please.
Yeah, in security step, you have mentioned that what is RDP. Can I know what is RDP?
Remote desktop protocol. Okay.
Okay.
So
And
that's a
one more
specific port which needs to be opened for communicating to the Windows machines. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. And
Okay.
one more thing I want to know that are you willing to start DevOps also?
DevOps also we are starting in just within 1 week. Okay. You get the updates in the WhatsApp group. Okay, Venkat?
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Venkat. Amol Khasid, good morning. Your question, please. I can see your hand raise, Amol.
Yeah, hi Sunil. Good morning.
Good morning, Amol. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, sir. What about you?
Yeah, doing well. Yes, your question, please.
Yeah, actually, my question is regarding the suppose we have created a virtual machine in AWS, and suppose we have forgot to stop the machine.
Okay.
So what will be charges?
No, very important, very important. I'll come back to your charges. Okay. Once you're done practicing, participants, very important question. Once you're done practicing, don't immediately log out. Okay. So cancel this. This is the machine which is running state, right? Once you're done practicing, as you're done practicing, don't directly go to log this. Here we have an option of signing out, but better once you're done practicing, but please stop the machine. Now the instance is running state. So go to instance state and then click on stop the instance. Are you sure you want to stop the instance? Yes. So it will take less than 1 minute. It will take less than 1 minute for the machine to get into stopped state.
Sunil, in this group we are unable to join regarding showing a lot of participants are there.
Who is this? Satish?
Satish.
Okay, Satish. What is it showing? Is it showing as group is full?
Yeah, group is full.
Okay. Please do not join the duplicate groups. Okay, I will provide a new group. Okay, 1 minute, please. So the machine is stopped. After the machine is getting stopped, then go ahead and click on sign out. Okay. So it's very important to stop the machines.
But this is a free trial account, so it will be charged. Suppose
Yeah, it will be
is...
charged. I'll discuss more about that in the coming classes. Okay.
Okay.
You have to actually terminate it, but this is not the right time to discuss about that. If the first group is full, please join the second group. But do not join the duplicate groups. Both are the same. If the first, I have just sent you one more WhatsApp group. If the first group is full, please join the second group. But you will get the updates about this training in the WhatsApp group only. Okay. Clear about this? Thank you all. And what's our plan for tomorrow's session? Interesting. Our plan for tomorrow's session is to learn, experience the Linux machine. Today we have experienced the Windows machine. Tomorrow I'll be showing you Linux machine. It's not just a Linux machine. We are creating a web server. Day by day, we are getting more into technical details. So we are tomorrow learning about the concept of creating a Linux machine and converting the Linux machine as a web server. Your question could be, what is web server, Sunil? I'll make the concept simplified. Okay. Stay tuned for tomorrow's session at same time. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.